This is the template for the my standard set of pedals, and so we take the steel. And this is, you know where this is, garage door, the old style garage door with the springs on the side of the door, and that's what we use for pedals. Been using this same piece for years and years. They work great. It's really good steel, and it's free. That's the best part. So with that, stick it in the bender and bend it up so that it conforms to this shape here, and then we'll have us a set of pedals for Jesse's Field. So we mark it according to the pattern, and put it in the vise, and then heat it up with the torch. Get it good and hot, both sides. So we'll heat on that side, and then we'll go to the other side and heat that up, and then bring it around, bend it around until it matches the pattern, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Okay, so both pedals are bent, and we got us a nice straight line across the top, so they're flat and level. They're both bent at the same angle, and they match up all the way down. Now they'll actually be cut. They'll be cut right along in there someplace. They'll be cut, and then drill the holes. The shaft that this sits on goes right across there. So basically the first part of the pedals themselves are made. Alright, for the next part of the pedals, I took some 9/16 inch solid steel rod stock and cut it and cleaned it, sanded it down, and the other end of this bar here is cut off because it already had a hole in it, and I made it 9/16 and cut them to where they fit right at the bottom there. And this time I'm going to move the pedals forward. Normally the pedals would go right here. I move them up forward a little bit and move my driver forward that much, which will shorten the handlebars. That's the effect of doing this. And shorter handlebars are always good. So that's what I got going next. And I found some tubing that goes over this that I will drill the holes in the pedals to fit the tubing, and then that'll be welded. This will be welded to the tubing, so the whole entire thing, all of it will swivel. That makes it just strong as can be. All right, that's that for this part of the pedals. Yipes! All right, so here's the template for the master cylinders, and there's enough room for a brake and a clutch. If you have a cable clutch, you don't need it, but it's there anyways in case you do run a cable clutch. And here's the finished piece. The piece of plate steel didn't have enough to do this whole cut, so I just trimmed it off, and it'll look fine in there. Now we have to buy the master cylinder and figure out exactly where we want it, cut the holes, mount it, and once we get that mounted, then we'll be able to connect it to the pedals, and then we will also know exactly where that pedal goes. It goes on here someplace according to wherever the master cylinder needs to be lined up. So we have several things to do. We have to line everything up before we weld anything together. So to finish that, so we actually have all the pieces are made. Now we just need a master cylinder to finish this assembly. Then the pedals will be finished, and we can move on to the top tube of the frame. We'll go on after that. We'll figure out where the seat sits back here someplace. According to fit to Jesse, we'll know where to put the seat and all that. So, alrighty, let me do the rundown on these pedals, and they're all finished up. I had to fabricate my own push rod assembly there. Just real simple to make that. Got the holes punched and drilled and bolted on. The masters are bolted on. We have two different kind of masters because this is for the Pontiac, and that's for the Volkswagen part of it. Drilled the holes down in the bottom of the pedals and set the angle of this according to making that exactly straight into the master cylinder. You don't want it pushing at an angle because that'll wear it out prematurely. So you want it pushing straight in, bam bam, like that. And welded a washer on the end of the main shaft. Welded the tubings onto the pedals, both sides, and it's split in the middle. Welded the tubings on, and drilled a hole on that side over there for the cotter pin. And the mounts on this trike are set inset. Normally I always set them up on top, put a little pedestal up here, mount the pedals. But this time I wanted to try something different, so they're actually on inset. They're a little shorter. There's less distance from side to side. And so that's it for the pedals, and they work real good. Brake, clutch, brake, whatever. So now that we have the pedals set, now we can go back here and figure out where the seat has to be according to where it fits his legs. That's where we set the seat so that it fits him. And we'll be doing that next week. In the meantime, I have other things, front end work and other things that I can just do to get ready for new parts. So that's it for pedals.